In the Accra Agenda for Action, there is a specific paragraph that recognizes civil society as development actors in our own right. But at the same time, we were challenged about our accountability. And so since Accra, for the past 3 years, we as global civil society have worked with over 20,000 civil society organizations in over 90 countries to develop and prepare, to develop a framework and also to prepare for Busan. And that framework, it encompasses what we are now calling the Istanbul Principles. And there are 8 of these principles, and the process was that in over 70 countries in the world, civil society gathered to discuss what are the principles of our work to be effective in development effectiveness. And the 8 principles are to respect and promote human rights and social justice, to embody gender equality while promoting women's rights, to focus on people's employment, democratic ownership and partnership, to promote environmental sustainability, to practice transparency and accountability, to pursue equitable partnerships and solidarity, create and share knowledge and commit to mutual learning, commit to realizing positive sustainable change. What we're saying is that if we are to be effective in our development work, then we need to comply to these principles. And furthermore, again, in responding to the challenge of accountability, we have developed what we are now calling the international framework. And this was adopted in Siem Reap in Cambodia. And so we're now referring to it as a Siem Reap consensus on the international framework of CSO development effectiveness. And what is so crucial about that in the negotiations is we now have a draft Busan outcome document that will go to High-Level Forum 4 that has a specific paragraph recognizing this framework. And so that for us is a major gain. However, we are also saying that in order for us to be effective, we also need to have the environment to be able to do our work. And Carolyn will talk more about that, because while we have kept our promise, we have found that governments have not kept their promise. We have experienced shrinking space. We have experienced less funding. And so this is a major issue, which is one of our negotiation points going into High-Level Forum number 4. So for us as civil society who have gathered here, 500 of us from over 95 countries, we have affirmed our role as independent development actors in our own right. And we also are using this framework as to guide our work in committing ourselves to be more transparent and accountable. So while we are holding governments accountable, we are saying we will firstly also hold ourselves accountable. We now have a framework, we have standards to improve our contribution to development effectiveness. So we will be going into High-Level 4, first of all affirming the further recognition in the outcome document, but presenting the further challenge to governments to do something about the shrinking space that we have experienced in the last 3 years. And that has been a major discussion at these last 3 days of the Busan Civil Society Forum. Thank you.